How you doing, YouTube? Matt Mess Beer Reviews, back to another review. A little bit of don't mess with Texas, or actually, let's reverse that. Let's mess with some Texas and open up St. Arnold Brewing's the Pumpkinator. It's aged in bourbon barrels, mind you. I've heard about the Pumpkinator. I don't know if this is... I don't know if there's two different versions. I don't know if there's the Pumpkinator than the barrel-aged Pumpkinator. All I know is I'm going to be drinking the barrel-aged version. This comes courtesy of Rob from Texas. Thank you very much, brother. He sent me a big box of Texas hopeful goodness. And this is my first St. Arnold beer I'm reviewing. Actually, my first St. Arnold beer I've ever had. It's pumpkin season. We're doing it. Let's open up. See what she's got. 2017 Pumpkinator, aged in bourbon barrels. St. Arnold Brewing. Patron saint of brewing. As Bishop of Mentz, St. Arnold spent his life warning the dangers of drinking water and exploiting the virtues of beer. During his funeral, his pallbearers stopped to quench their thirst, but they only had one mug to share among them. Then a miracle happened. The mug never ran dry. All the mourners were satisfied. I don't know if they put that on every beer. It sounds like it. 12.9% Imperial Pumpkin Stout, brewed with pumpkin and spices. And, you know, it's pumpkin beer cover. You know, it's a St. Arnold with the pumpkin cask next one. So there you go. Do I have a bottle opener around here? I don't know. Should have something. Where the hell did my bottle opener go? Oh, this is what makes live video the best. I am apparently without an opener. Let's get ghetto here. What can I... Oh, no, I found one. Cheers. So yeah. Pumpkin beers. They get a lot of flack. Undeservingly. I think people just like to rip on shit, just to kind of rip on stuff. I've always talked about this. I've said this before. It's not a secret. There's two kinds of pumpkin beers. There's good beers that have pumpkin in them, and then there's bad beers that have pumpkin in them. The pumpkin's kind of regardless. There's the whole, like, you can't actually taste pumpkin. I wouldn't go that far. I think you can get a little bit of mouthfeel and get a little bit of taste, especially if you kind of toast and roast the pumpkins up and stuff like that. But it's more of a spices thing. So, anyway, head was on there, dissipated really quick, and you're basically left with what looks like Coca-Cola. So, does she look like a stout? She, not as dark as you'd think, but sure, we'll let it slide. Let's get a nose on her. Yeah, I mean, you're getting that big pumpkin spice, that kind of, you know, a little bit of, you know, your allspice, your ginger a little bit in there. That kind of, is it nutmeg? Get a little bit of nutmeg in there too. I think nutmeg's part of allspice anyway. And you're getting a nice rich bourbon off there. There's a little bit of heat to it, nothing too crazy. It smells thinnish, but you're getting that nice bourbon with a little bit of cherry notes, but it's a little bit more kind of whiskey bourbony as opposed to just kind of rich, dark, fruity that happens to come from bourbon. So yeah, pumpkin spice, check. Bourbon, check. Not much wood, check. Beer, not getting a ton of it on the nose. Let's see if it's in the taste. Cheers. That's not too shabby. You know, it's, again, not to be systematic about it, pumpkin spice abounds. It's not too heavy-handed, but it's very present. There's a bit of a drying in there. A kind of allspice nutmeg thing. It's kind of drying me out. Could also be a bit of the oak tannins kind of coming into play there. I'm not really tasting oak, but it just could be, I'm not getting it because of the spices in there. The bourbon barrel spirit portion of the show is definitely there. You're getting it. It's a little bit hot, not necessarily in a bad way. And this has got to be about a year old. We're talking, I'm recording this the end of September 2017. I'm assuming this didn't, there's a 2017 version. I'm assuming this comes out right around now. So it's got about a year on it. So that booze is still a little bit hot. Not too hot, but a little bit hot to know you're drinking something with bourbon in it. The problem I have with it is the beer's kind of lost. The way the bourbon plays is nice, the way the spices play are nice, but I'm not really getting much beer in it. I'm not getting a stout. It doesn't taste like a stout. It tastes more like an imperial brown ale, if anything, but even that is a stretch because I couldn't even tell you I'm tasting like brown ale kind of notes to it. So it just tastes like the beer is a vessel for the spices and the bourbon as opposed to the beer being, you know, a steady center for those to be built off of. That's the biggest knock. It's still tasty. It's nice. It's giving you essentially what you would expect. It's giving you the pumpkin spice. It's giving you the bourbon. That's fine. It just lacks a little bit of nuance, a little bit of deft hand, if you will. Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I dig it, but it doesn't wow me either. Just kind of like, okay. So yeah, let's talk about it. It's one of the better pumpkin beers I've had as of late. It still is. It's worthy of being in a conversation. I still have had ones better, but it's still tasty. But my biggest knock is that the beer isn't showing up as much as it should, at least to kind of be close to equal with that barrel and the spices. Value availability, no idea. Rob sent it to me. Maybe he can chime in, or somebody else that knows the kind of whole St. Arnold distribution foot map. And leave you with a foot map. And leave you with, if you like you like this. If you like bourbon barrels and you like pumpkin spice, because you're going to get that in spades. Like I said, the beer kind of gets lost a little bit, but it's still a tasty drink. Just kind of gets to the point where it's still beer, but it's a little more removed from beer than you would like it to be. So if you like pumpkin spice, you like bourbon, this will do you. Excuse me. So there you go. Another review in the books down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers, if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. If you want to check me out doing a whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a nice little pumpkin barrel-aged jammer right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers.